Hello bronies and Pega sisters, my name is FrostCloud on my Mr. Chaos the Cunning Wolf channel. After watching Surf and or Turf 2 more times after I reacted to it last Saturday, this episode is definitely one of my most favorite episodes of Season 8 so far. To a point where I'm actually debating amongst myself if this episode is better than School Days. It's not just the fact that we finally got another CMC episode and song. It's not just the fact that we finally got to see Hippogriffia and Sequestria in the show. It's because this is an episode that made me think. But we'll get to that in a minute. Now, to me, for this being a CMC episode, it feels like an amazing follow-up after a long gap. The CMC's very first friendship mission wasn't in Ponyville, as would be expected of them, but it was in Mount Eris of all places. This is a very unique and clever way to start off the CMC's rap sheet of friendship missions. And don't even get me started on the CMC getting to turn into sea ponies. Another thing I liked regarding the CMC in this episode is that the mistake that Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo made actually felt believable. They're only foals after all. Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo got carried away and ended up fighting each other over whether Harmonizing Heights or Sequestria were better places to live, instead of helping Terramar. With every first mission a character is sent on, mistakes are bound to be made. Just like the main 6, the CMC are not perfect. When Terramar said,
"And I have to choose soon. Every other Grif my age already knows where they belong."
That sort of confused me at first because it made me think that choosing between Hippogriffia and Sequestria was something that everyone on Mount Eris had to do, and that if the CMC did accomplish their mission, Terramar would be encouraged to deviate from Mount Eris's rules. But now I think I was wrong. I think what Terramar meant by every other Grif my age already knows where they belong is most of the other citizens of Mount Eris his age have chosen where they want to stay due to a lack of interest for one of the 2 places. Or something else, which is one of the things that this episode made me think about. I think the reason why some Mount Eris citizens wanted to stay in Sequestria as sea ponies is because the attack on Hippogriffia to steal the pearl led by Tempest gave some of the citizens PTSD. And remaining in Sequestria is the only way they can cope with their new formed condition and avoid a potential panic attack. The other thing in this episode that made me think was the relationship between Terramar and Silverstream's parents, Skybeam and Ocean Flow. As some of you saw during my reaction to Surf and Turf, at first I thought that Skybeak and Ocean Flow were divorced or separated, thus the moral, you don't need to choose a home. You can go back and forth. But again, I think I might have been wrong. But it got me thinking nonetheless, and that's good. Terramar and Silverstream's parents do appear to be in a good and healthy relationship. I also noticed that Ocean Flow doesn't have a piece of the pearl on her necklace. Only Terramar, Skybeak, and Silverstream do. I think the reason Ocean Flow wanted to stay down in Sequestria is that she was one of the Mount Eris citizens who got PTSD from the attack led by Tempest, and refuses to come out of the water. But Terramar, Silverstream, and Skybeak don't have the condition, so they have pieces of the pearl on their necklaces and often use them to visit the mother/wife of the family. Now I could be wrong again, but remember, this is the result of this episode making me think, and again, that's what I love it so much for. When it comes to the song, Your Heart Is in 2 Places, I actually debate amongst myself if I find the song better than School of Friendship and Friendship Always Wins. It is beautiful and catchy, and I really like how the song has an escalating feel to it, with Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo getting carried away with which place is the best. I really admire the redesigns of Mount Eris, Hippogriffia, and Sequestria for the show, Sequestria being my most favorite. I just love how it looks more populated and alive. Speaking of Sequestria, and, well, all of Mount Eris for that matter, Queen Novo and Princess Skystar are nowhere to be seen, which does disappoint me, but I can understand why they're not here. Their voice actors are probably too expensive to keep around, and I don't think they were able to find any good impersonators in time before Season 8 had begun. That is why, despite me being admittedly disappointed with Queen Novo and Princess Skystar not being in this episode, it will not affect my final ranking of this episode. And who knows? Perhaps we will see them again later this season, or in the next season. In the end, I loved this episode, and I hope we get to visit Mount Eris again soon. Out of 10 paws, I definitely give this episode 10. Remember, everything said in this video is only my opinion. Simple as that. As always, my name is FrostCloud. Thank you all for tuning in, and have a wonderful day. Brohuth.